What if I told you there are records older than time itself that already hold the entire story of your life? Not just your past, but your future. Would you believe me? And if you did, would you dare to open them? They are not stored in any library, nor hidden in a dusty vault. They exist in a place you already have access to right now. But there's a catch. Once you see what's inside, there is no turning back. Across the ages, they have been called many names. The Akashic Records, the Book of Life, the Chronicle of the Soul, the invisible web that connects all things. High in the Himalayas, monks still gather in hidden chambers, whispering of them in a silence so profound you can hear the weight of your own breath. They speak of pages that are not written in ink, but in the vibrations of thought itself. In ancient Egypt, the mystics carved symbols into temple walls, not as mere decorations, but as living keys, waiting for the one who can unlock them. The pharaohs knew that memory is more powerful than gold. Under the desert night of ancient Persia, wandering scholars spoke of a hidden library between the stars. They said each soul had its own volume there, glowing, pulsing, waiting to be read. Deep in the forests of the Americas, shamans closed their eyes and claimed they could walk among shelves made not of wood, but of pure light. Each step they took revealed the echoes of lifetimes past and glimpses of lifetimes yet to come. Even some of the greatest scientific minds, Nikola Tesla, Carl Jung, Erwin Schrödinger, hinted at these records, not in public lectures, not in the comfortable pages of school books, but in the quiet corners of interviews, in scattered journal notes, in cryptic phrases that sounded strange, unless you knew what they were pointing to. Why would such knowledge be hidden? Is it because the truth could free too many minds too quickly? Or because within these records lies the power to dismantle the illusions we cling to, the ones that make our world feel safe? And what would you do if you found out that your life, every joy, every mistake, every victory, and every regret is already there, recorded in perfect detail? And the real question, what if someone has already read it? They say that to reach these records, you don't need a key made of metal, but a key made of consciousness. You have held it before. Perhaps it was in a moment so brief, you didn't even think to name it. A sudden spark in the mind, a truth arriving without warning, bypassing thought, slipping past logic, and resting deep in your bones, as if it had always been there. It comes in the déjà vu that stops you mid-step, that eerie certainty that you have lived this scene, smelled this air, felt this heartbeat before. It comes when you meet a stranger and feel a pull, an ancient familiarity, or the quiet alarm of an unspoken warning. It comes in dreams that follow you for years, dreams that do not fade but wait, until one day you walk into them in waking life. In those moments, the ordinary world bends, only slightly, but enough for you to feel it. The air thickens, as though it's listening. The colors shift, not in hue, but in weight. And somewhere, just beyond the edge of your vision, something begins to turn. That sensation is the key in your hand, and when it turns, it does not open a door made of wood or stone. It opens a seam in reality itself, a thin place where the veil is weakest. Step across and you will not just see the records, you will remember them, because they have never been outside you. They have always been the quiet current beneath every thought, every instinct, every decision. But there is no crossing back. Once the threshold is behind you, you will carry the knowledge forever, whether you are ready or not. So I'll ask you again, not with my voice, but with the silence between my words. Are you ready to step through? But don't be mistaken. The records do not simply tell you things, they answer, and when they do, they will test you. The moment you send your question into that vast, unseen archive, the echo begins to return, not as words, not as visions carved neatly in light, but as a disturbance in your reality. It may take the shape of an event that cracks open the rhythm of your life, something that forces you to move when all you wanted was to stay still, a sudden twist that demands you choose between safety and truth. Sometimes the answer comes wearing a human face. They may enter your life quietly or collide into it with force, but either way, they bring friction. They will speak words that sting. They will hold up a mirror you didn't ask for, and in their reflection, you will see parts of yourself you have spent years refusing to acknowledge. At times, the trial is loss. A door slams shut, one you thought would always remain open. The familiar ground disappears beneath your feet, and you are left in the air, suspended between what was and what will be. Other times, it arrives as an opportunity so strange, so far from the story you thought you were living, that every instinct screams to turn away. And yet, a small, steady whisper inside says, "This is the answer." Understand this. These are not random. These are the records speaking in the only language you cannot ignore, the language of your own life unfolding. When it happens, the world around you will seem still, not silent, but listening. The air will have weight. Colors may feel sharper, time a little slower, as if reality itself is watching to see what you will do. In that moment, you stand at a hidden crossroads. One path will lead you forward, into the unknown, carrying the answer you asked for. The other will take you back into the comfort of forgetfulness. Will you recognize the trial for what it truly is, a living, breathing reply from the very fabric of existence? Or will you write it off as coincidence and let the page turn without you? The records do not punish. They do not reward. They witness. An old truth says, the records are not read, they are lived. Every hardship, every silent battle you fought alone, every pattern that returns to you like the tide returning to the shore, all of it is a page being turned. Some of those pages are stained, heavy with the weight of regret, fear, or pain you thought would never end. Others are etched with light, glowing with victories no one else could measure but you. Yet whether dark or bright, every page carries the unmistakable mark of your hand. The greatest illusion is that the story is fixed, that it is already written, and you are merely acting it out. But look closely, the pen has never left your fingers. The records are not carved in stone. They are not locked away in some unreachable vault. They are fluid, a living river of ink, flowing through every breath you take. One choice can redirect the current. One word can change the meaning of an entire chapter. One moment of defiance against fear can ripple through the rest of your life and beyond. Ask yourself, how many of your pages have been written by habit, by fear, by the will of others, and how many have you truly authored? The question is no longer, what is written in my future? That question looks outward, as if the answer lies somewhere else. The question is, what am I writing right now? With this thought, with this breath, with this heartbeat. Because whether you see it or not, the ink is still wet, and the next line is already waiting for you to choose the words. Right now, as my voice reaches you, the page is already turning. Not in some distant future you can prepare for. Not in a year or a month or even an hour from now. It's happening in this breath. In this very second, the ink is flowing. Your next chapter is being written beneath your feet. You can keep moving forward as if the records are a fantasy, something far away, something that belongs to mystics, monks, and dreamers. You can keep telling yourself the patterns in your life are just accidents, that the people who appear suddenly are just chance, that the dreams that stay with you are just echoes of an overactive mind. Or you can begin to see them for what they are. The threads are there, in the glance of a stranger that feels like recognition, in the repeated symbols that seem to follow you through your days, in the moment when a decision feels heavier than it should, as if the world itself is leaning in to listen. And one day soon, sooner than you think, you will notice it. The page will open in front of you, not in some sacred hall or hidden library, but in the middle of an ordinary moment. The light will change, the air will shift, and you will know. It will not knock, it will not wait for you to be ready, it will not ask for permission. It will stand before you, silent, unyielding, absolute. And in that silence, a single question will press itself into your mind, not spoken aloud, not carried by sound, but written directly into the deepest part of you. Are you ready? And here's the truth you cannot escape. The moment the question is asked, your soul has already answered. The choice is yours. But the records are already watching.